All right, let me tell you a story. The year is 1988, and I was graduating high school and I was getting ready to go to college because I was told that you were supposed to go to college and get a degree so you can get a good job. What they didn't tell you was that you were going to go into a lot of debt. And so that's a whole other story. So I go and I get this business degree. And then I spend 4 years and a whole lot of money. And I go out into the business world. Now, back then, we didn't have the internet hardly at all. I mean, we had this thing called America Online. You've got mail. And that was our internet. That's what we knew as internet. Or you could dial into these things called local bulletin boards, where you had a local phone number and you connected your modem that made all these screeching noises. All right, I'm probably talking to people who have no idea what I'm talking about. But if you're old school like me, you had to dial into these local bulletin boards. So that was our internet. Fast forward to the year 2000, I started my very first business. And it was actually an e-commerce business, but it was kind of a hybrid because we were manufacturing product and shipping it out around the world, but we still had an e-commerce site. So my very first business was an online business. Now, back then, we didn't have social media. We didn't have Google. In fact, our search engines, ready for this? Lycos and Yahoo.com. Those were our search engines. We didn't have any social media, and the internet, the websites were very crude. They were very basic. And I used a Microsoft, I think it was called Microsoft Front Page, to build my websites. And then you had to FTP them to file transfer protocol. You had to FTP them to the domain where the place where you were putting your website. So you had to have a provider and you had to have a domain. And I went through Network Solutions. So that was the early days of business. Fast forward to the year 2022, where I am actually doing this video. We have social media and we have powerful internet. Now they're talking about internet 3.0, and they're talking about, the metaverse, and they're talking about all these crazy things that were all fictional back in the year 2000, much less the year 1988. So in 30 years, I have seen an enormous change, shift, whatever you want to call it, in the world of internet. So what I want to talk to you today about is setting up a business e-commerce site. Now, if you have a traditional business like plumbing or electrician or landscaping or whatever, there are some things in this discussion that'll be useful to you because you can still use it. But what I want to talk to you specifically about is setting up an e-commerce site using tools that you have right now that are basically available to you for free. So what I'd like to do is go ahead and share my screen. If you just give me just a moment, we're going to go ahead and go to Facebook. Now, if you log into your Facebook account, and this is my Facebook feed for today, and what I want you to do is notice on the far left-hand side, there is a menu where you'll see my name, Philip Foster, with my picture. And that was a couple months ago when I went hiking. And then there's a tab or a menu for friends, pages, groups, marketplace, watch, memories, and so forth. And then you'll see the shortcuts where I have Maximum Change Business Mentoring and Maximum Change Business Mentoring. Now, one is basically what I'm using is like old school Yellow Pages. I'm really not using that too much. But the second one, the Maximum Change Business Mentoring, is where that's my active page. So maybe you want to check that out because that's where I do all my posts, and I do videos like this. I'll post there, and I'll just do encouragement and things like that. So I have pages. So what I want to do is I want to show you this. Go over here to the far side, and you want to choose the option pages. Now you'll notice that the pages that I can manage are right here. Now, what I want to do is ignore this test page. What I want to do is I want to go over here where it says create a new page. Maybe. I can't find my cursor. Where'd it go? There it is. All right, create a new page. Now, you're going to have to name your page something. So let's go ahead and call this fake. No, we're not going to do fake. How about if we do sample business? All right, so sample business is the name of your page. And what is your category? Well, I want this to be, let's see, we're going to look under business. Business, here are different options for business. Well, that doesn't work. Maybe you're going to do health and beauty. Maybe you're going to have a clothing brand. Maybe you're going to be a men's clothing store, women's clothing store. There is no e-commerce. So let's see what it has under store. So you can do these different options. Let's go ahead and call this. We're going to go over here and we're going to look under clothing. We're going to call this a clothing brand. How about that? Now, here's where you can write a bio or a little blurb about what your business is. In this block, mine says, I teach people how to start and grow businesses. So that's what it, and then the category for me is business consulting. And then the page name, of course, is Maximum Change Business Mentoring. So what you'll do is you'll go down here and you'll say, create a page. This is really cool because now it says it says I've created too many pages. Please try again later. Okay. Well, we're going to leave that page and we're going to go back because now you see how we do it. We're going to switch now to the test page. How about that? And we're going to switch over to the test page. You see how to set it up. So I don't need to do that. I apologize about that. These things happen. Okay, so here's what's really cool. Now here's your test page. So you can add a cover picture up here. You can add your company logo or your picture or whatever it is or maybe you have a picture of the product that you're selling is going to go there. All you do is click on to, no, I don't want to take a tour, but you can take a tour later. All right, you want to click on this picture and you want to upload a photo. And now we're going to go over here. How about if we go to future? And I'm just going to pick just some picture that I have here. All right, we're going to save that. And you can give a description of this if you wanted to. So now that will appear right there. And we can add a cover by selecting a photo, or I don't have any photo albums for this page. So, but assuming you did, you could select a photo from there, or you can go and you can upload a photo from your computer again. And we're going to go ahead and choose this picture. All right. And you can move it around and reposition it to make it look pretty. And then once you're done, you will click Save Changes up here in the upper right-hand corner. So now we've set up your test page. And by the way, you can edit that title later by going over here to the edit. We'll look at that in a moment. But here's your page that's set up. And you have an About section, which will allow you to enter in your address or the service area, depending on what it is you're selling. If you're a landscaping company and you're only servicing your town or your region, you might want to put that in there. This would be your business address. If you're working from home, I don't recommend that you put your home address there. So just keep that in mind. Also, on your phone number. Again, if you're working from home or you don't want to give out your personal number, I recommend you go to set up a phone number through Google. And Google has different ways you can type in their Google phone number, and you can set up a phone number for your area code or whatever. Add email. Again, I don't recommend a personal email there. You want a business email. And by the way, the best email to have is not going to be one that has at Hotmail or at Gmail or at Yahoo or whatever extension you have there. What you really want there is an email address that actually is connected to your domain name. In my case, I have info, I-N-F-O, at maximumchange.com. So that's what I put there. Obviously, you want your websites here, and you want any relevant social media links. If you're going to do fashion, you might want to have your Instagram feed there, or link there. If you're going to do something that is, very video driven, you might want to have your TikTok there or your YouTube or whatever. So you can add those there. And there's a different social media. So if you click on add social media link, it'll say add a social media link. You can choose Instagram, Twitter, Snapchat, YouTube, TikTok, Twitch, WhatsApp. And by the way, if you don't have a WhatsApp, that's another great tool to have. And you can download a WhatsApp business app, and you can attach that to your Google number that I told you about. Or if you just have a business number, you can attach it there. I use my Google number. There's also Line, WeChat, Kik, Pinterest, Tumblr, Ask FM, SoundCloud, Spotify, LinkedIn, Skype, QQ, Cocoa Talk. I don't know what that is. VK, OK, GitHub, Oculus. So those are your different options under the social media. Now, you can also add some basic information. We're not going to dig too deep in any of this today, but if you wanted to work toward diversity things, you can click on this, and you can choose different diversity information, like are you Asian owned, Black owned, disabled, Indigenous, Latin, LGBTQ owned, Middle Eastern, Pacific, veteran owned, women owned. If you feel like that is something that is relevant to your market or your ideal customer, that is something that you'll want to add. Wi-Fi network name. This is something that really you see more in like a coffee shop setting or someplace where people are going to spend some time there, and you want them on your Wi-Fi, or you want to give them that benefit of free Wi-Fi. You might have that information there. Your hours of operation. Now, this is really interesting because you want to say, if you're an e-commerce site, you want to say you're always open. Maybe you are permanently closed. You went out of business. I hope not, but maybe you did. You put that there. But maybe you're temporarily closed because you're off season. I see this a lot when I'm traveling late in the year down in Florida on the East Coast, and I go to Anna Maria Island or someplace around there, and some of the shops are closed for the season, meaning that they're not open during the winter months. They're only open during the summer months or the high tourist traffic months. So you might have a temporarily closed option, or you can open on selected hours, and you get to choose those, what days you're open, when your opening is, and you can choose those times and when do you close. I am an e-commerce site, basically, so I'm always open. And so I'm going to select that. You might need to deal with price ranges, and that's, I want to make sure that took always open. You might want to add price ranges. Are you cheap, moderate, expensive? This is something that's very special occasion, or maybe it's not even applicable at all. You're not going to offer it, or unspecified. So whatever your market is, or whatever you're trying to do, you can do that. What are your services? Do you offer delivery? Contactless delivery? Do you offer takeout, dine-in? Now, obviously, these are restaurant related. Do you offer an online booking? This could be good for hotels. This could be good for restaurants, Airbnb, and so forth. Reservations, of course. Curbside pickup, in-store shopping, in-person, online classes. So in my case, I offer online classes. So I'm going to choose online classes. And I'm going to save. If you have any special languages that you are offering, you can click that there. Now, in my case, I only speak English. But, and by the way, you can also choose United States or United Kingdom English. I'm going to choose US English because it is a little bit different. In many ways, it's a lot different than my cousins over in Great Britain. Okay, so that is the basic how do you set things up on that? You can also do privacy and legal information by clicking on that, and you can add your privacy policy. Now, I usually have a link back to my website. You can also have other information that you want to type in there, work and education. If you wanted to add any of this information, high school, college, it's not really relevant to what I'm doing. Places lived, again, is not really relevant to what I'm doing. But if you're using this page as a you're a public figure and you wanted to offer some information, you might want to put that there. Page transparency is something that basically is generated by Facebook, so there's nothing to do there. Family relationships, if it was relevant, you'd put that. Details about you. Now, in this case, again, none of this is really going to be relevant, other than if you wanted to write something about the business here, you could do that under the About You. Or if you needed to explain to the visitor how to pronounce your company name, you might want to do that there. And again, life events, that is really not relevant to this page necessarily, unless you wanted to say opened your business on, January 1st, 2022, you could do that. Now, mentions, this is something that is done when you have people interacting on your page. I want to go back here for a minute to life events. Sorry, I left something out. There's some information down here that you could see that you can also add. And I don't really use any of this, but let's say that you're setting up a book club. You might want to talk about the books you've read or whatever, or maybe you're talking about movies or TV shows or a sports team or whatever. If you have something where you want to create a question, answer a question, this is another great tool to have. Maybe you're an artist and you want to feature your music. All of this is other tools that you can have down there. All right, reviews. This is something where visitors to your page will review your business. Now, obviously, as you get clients, as you get customers, you want to encourage them to leave a good review on here because reviews are really helpful. And you can also look at who your followers are at some point, and you can also look at all the photos that you've uploaded. So if you're uploading products to your, if you're uploading pictures of your products, you have that. Now here under the More tab, you have things like videos. That's where you upload videos. Like if I wanted to take this video right now and upload it to my Facebook page, which I will do later, that's where I would do that. You can actually do live events through Facebook, and that's what that is. You can attach groups. Now, a group is usually a page that has some qualifiers to get in. So I have private groups, meaning you have to ask for permission to join that group. And again, you'll see all these other options that we just mentioned earlier. Now, one other thing I want to do is I want to talk about managing for a minute. Just click over here. Now, I promise you I'm going somewhere with all of this. But when you click on manage, this allows you to do some things for your page, like connect with more people, establish your page identity. So when we go over here, we've already done all these things. So you could see the only thing that's left is to add a description. Briefly tell us about your business. So let's do that. We sell stuff. How about that? Because this is going to be an e-commerce site. And we're not going to, you can share this to your stream. I'm not going to do that today. On the preferences, you can link your WhatsApp. You can add a button, a website, your location, your phone number. We've already looked at those. You can introduce your page by inviting friends and creating a welcome post. You can have frequently asked questions that you can put on there. You can look at your feed. You can learn how to switch to other page profiles, all from this page. Now let's go over here to the left-hand side for a minute. You will notice that there are other features here where you can link accounts, messaging, page access. You can do jobs. So if you're wanting to hire people, you can provide events. If you want to run an ad for this business on Facebook, you can do that. We're not going to get into that at this moment. You can also look at your audience. Now, when you have at least 100 followers, you're able to see more information about your audience. And what happens here is they tell you where the people are that are following your page. Are they in the US? Are they in Europe or Asia? Where are they located? What is their age breakdown? Are they male or female? Do they identify as LGBTQ or whatever? You have all these different options there. So let me go back here. And we want to go back to all these different options. You can look at your page. So you could look at different information here on how many people are reached by your post, how many people engaged in your posts. There's all these different things that you can look at. Now, let's go back to the page, the test page. There are some different options over here as well. What we want to do let me go back to the manage. You can add third-party apps there. You can add payouts, meaning how do you get paid from your business. You can do stars. Now you have to meet a certain criteria to do stars, and that's you have to have a certain number of followers, but that means that you actually can start earning money when you do lives and people give you rewards or stars for that. And these are all different options that you can set up on your page. Now, the one thing that I did want to show you is how do you set up a business where you're going to sell things here. And I'm going to pause for just a moment. And when I come back, I'm going to show you how to set this up. Okay, we're back now. On this page, on the left-hand side, you'll see down at the bottom, it's going to say Meta Business Suite. Now, this is a newish feature in Facebook that maybe you've not seen before, you haven't paid attention to before, especially if you've never set up a page. But when you click on the Meta Business Suite, what you're going to do is you're going to get another set of tools that are going to help you with your business. Now, keep in mind, we're only going to talk about the e-commerce side of this today, but I want you to notice that in the Meta Suite, you can do a whole lot of different things. For example, you can set up where you can actually do your posts from this page. You can create an ad from this page. And there are other options, create a reel or create a story. You can all do that from this page. And what they're trying to do is they're trying to keep the manager of the page off of the main page. And so if you're posting a video or you're making a post or whatever, you can do that all from this page. Now, I'm kind of old school and I like to go to the other page, but in many cases, I do need to come here. What I wanted to show you was that you can also look at notifications, your inbox, and under content, when you click on the content option, sorry, it takes a moment. You can actually schedule and draft out and so forth your different posts. And you can do stories, you can do A/B testing. Now that we're not going to get into, but that's for doing advertising. You can look at your feed grid, mentions and tags. So that's where people have mentioned your name in a post. and there's clips, and then you have your collections and creative assets. Now, all of this is really related to making posts. We're not going to really talk about that. There's also a planner where you can plan out your posts and your advertising. And then there's your ads and insights and other tools. What I want to do is go to the commerce option. Now it's going to open up a new tab on your web browser. And here is where you can set up an account, an e-commerce account, and you can, so you can switch accounts. If you can't find a shop, you can add an account. You can search by name. You can add a catalog. Now, this is when you're going to sell from a customized shop, meaning that you have one already set up on Facebook or Instagram, and you want to connect that inventory to this page. So if you set up this page and then you want to have a secondary page that connects to this catalog, you can do that from this part up here. Now, down below, this is where you can actually create your catalog of products or services that you're going to sell. I'm going to click on Add Catalog. And again, it may take a moment, but here you can choose the type of catalog that you're offering. E-commerce, local commerce and delivery, travel, real estate, auto, entertainment, and media. That's basically streaming content that you're going to put out. You're going to choose which type of product you're going to do. So let's say we're an e-commerce site. There's products. If you can do local delivery, you can either do menu and store items or restaurant and store location. Travel, you can do hotels, flights, and destinations. Real estate, obviously, is just home listings. Auto is vehicles to offer, vehicle offers and vehicles. And then entertainment is just media titles. So we're going to go up here to e-commerce and we're going to say next. And this is where you can upload your product information, or if you have a platform already set up like Shopify or BigCommerce and so forth, you can actually connect your catalog from there here. Now, in this case, we can upload product information. You can add your information manually or in bulk, meaning if you had it in a spreadsheet, you could do that. The name of the catalog owner right now is Maximum Change. That's my company. And we have a catalog underscore products, and we're going to just go to create at this moment. And your catalog is created. Now, obviously, your catalog doesn't have anything in it. So we're going to view the catalog. And I'm doing this because I want to show you how you can just set up your own e-commerce business through Facebook. And now the Commerce Manager comes up with the overview screen. And again, this may take a moment. But you can have announcements up here. You can reach more customers through with dynamic ads, and that's all right there. And then there's some help over here, navigating your commerce site, adding items to the catalog, and using your catalog. Now, when we go over here, if you click on items, you notice that there isn't anything in your catalog yet, but you can actually add items to your catalog, or up in the right-hand corner, add items. When you pull that down, you can add multiple items or add one item. Sets. This means that you have a grouping of something that you're selling together. And then there's the issues menu option, where if there's any errors or problems you need to fix, it'll tell you there. It'll talk about any issues that you're having on your data source. Are you getting this where you're manually have them filling out a form and you're adding the items to the catalog? Are you using a spreadsheet, or are you using a platform to upload this stuff? And then you can also have events. And here you can set up tracking for sales that are connected to an event. And you can create and install pixels, which allow you to do the tracking and so forth. You can also go over here and do ads from this. And if you click on shops, you can go to the shops, start selling with shops. And this is where you're going to sell your products easily with a shop that customers can access from Facebook, Instagram, and Instagram stories. So when you click on Go to Shops, what this is going to do is it's going to allow you to connect all of these different platforms together so that you have one place to go to sell. And it'll walk you through how to do that through the partners. If you're selling through Shopify or BigCommerce or so forth, you can still set this up. So you can go ahead and use that to set up. I'm not going to go play by play on that one, but I just wanted to show it to you. So let's go back to the e-commerce manager. And I know this is taking a moment, but I apologize. It's taking a moment to set up. And you can go up here. There's all tools where if you click on that, you see all of these different settings here. And billing is really designed more for your advertising side of things. And so you could look at that because you're obviously going to have to enter in information, credit card and so forth, if you're going to do advertisements. And if you want to click on your settings button down here, you have different options, the catalog, and then the business assets, which basically is all of your ads and channels and so forth are set up. So we're not going to go deep into that at this moment. I just wanted to kind of give you an example of how all of this works. Back at the business suite, you might want to go back and look at that, and you'll see different options here down here at the settings. You can set up different things like privacy setting. You could set up notifications. You can link accounts. There's support and so forth. And one last thing that I wanted to do is click on the all tools over here so that you could see all of the different options that you have available to you. Now, the one thing I did want to show you is the payouts. And this is where you see your earnings, balances, payment activity, and manage payment methods, meaning how are you going to get paid? You're going to need to set up a wallet. You can look at transactions. And I'll show you down here all the transactions that are taking place. But when you go in here, you're going to need to set up your wallet. So you'll want to view your HyperWallet terms first and foremost. And it's going to take you outside of Facebook for that. We're not going to do that today. You're going to want to go to your settings. And here is where you actually set up your payout. How are you getting paid? In my case, I'm using PayPal. And you will want to do that here. You'll enter that information in. My tax ID has been verified and so forth. And so you'll enter in all the pertinent information there to set up your payout account. So that is how you set up an e-commerce site using a page. Now, I just want to be clear about something. When you set up an e-commerce site through Facebook, they are going to sometimes charge you if you use their processing. So keep that in mind. And they may hold some of your funds if you go through their processing. So make sure you read all the terms and conditions when you're setting this up. I know this was a brief overview and I didn't go, step by step through every piece of information, but I wanted to basically show you how to set up a page and get you to setting up an e-commerce site. Again, you set your page up, you go under Meta Business, and then you go under Extra Tools to set up the payout, and you could set up your e-commerce site. I hope this was somewhat helpful to you. I wanted to just give you this overview because I'm always talking about how these options are free. Once you get a little more acclimated to this, maybe you want to just test one product to do this. Once you get more acclimated, you can start playing with how do you link this to Instagram and start selling from there. And you can actually, send out links to your e-commerce site through Facebook. You can, post that on your website, post it on your Facebook page, wherever, and that'll knock people back to be able to buy from you. And you can sell not just physical products, but digital products here as well. Okay, I hope it was helpful. And why don't you just go ahead and set up your own test page and play around with this. And I hope you have a great day ahead. Bye-bye.